Squeak! Squeak! A hungry little mouse finds the perfect feast in a corn basket, but eating too much gets him into a tricky spot. Join us for The Mouse and the Corn Basket to see how he gets unstuck and what surprising lesson a clever weasel has to share.
One sunny morning, a tiny mouse, with his soft gray fur and bright, curious eyes, felt a rumbling in his tummy. "Oh, I'm so hungry," he squeaked softly, twitching his little pink nose. He scurried along, sniffing eagerly for something delicious to eat, his long, thin tail swishing gently behind him. His journey led him to a farm, where a wonderful, sweet smell drifted on the breeze. Following the enticing aroma, the little mouse discovered a large, woven basket brimming with golden corn kernels. His eyes widened in delight, and his whiskers quivered with excitement. But the opening at the top of the basket was quite narrow, a tight squeeze for even a small mouse. He peered anxiously, wondering how he could possibly get inside. The corn was simply too tempting to resist, its bright yellow kernels promising a feast. With a determined wiggle, the tiny mouse began to squeeze himself between the stiff strips of the basket. He pushed and squished, making tiny little sounds of effort. It was a tight fit, but he was so eager to reach the yummy treasure. After a few patient attempts, the resourceful mouse finally managed to slide through the opening and tumble gently into the basket. "Hooray!" he imagined cheering, though he was careful not to make too much noise. He landed softly among the bounty of corn, feeling very proud of his cleverness. A delicious adventure had begun. What a feast awaited him! The little mouse began to munch and crunch, nibbling on one kernel, then another, then many more. He ate and ate, filling his hungry tummy until he felt wonderfully full and content. He didn't even notice how round he was becoming. Soon, his once tiny tummy was bulging, almost 3 times bigger than when he first squeezed in. He stretched out lazily among the remaining corn, feeling very sleepy and satisfied. That was the best meal ever, he thought, letting out a tiny, happy sigh. The basket felt like the coziest bed imaginable after such a big meal. After a lovely nap, the mouse decided it was time to head home. He waddled back to the narrow opening, ready to squeeze out again. But, oh dear! He pushed with his soft paws and wiggled with all his might. The tiny gray mouse could only get his little head through the gap. His plump belly was simply too big. He tried pulling, he tried pushing, but nothing worked. The mouse began to feel a horrible discomfort in his tummy and a rising panic in his heart. "Oh no, oh dear," he whimpered, soft little sounds escaping him. He was stuck. His joyful day had turned into a very worrisome predicament. Just at that moment, a sleek weasel with reddish-brown fur and sharp, knowing eyes came slinking by the basket. The weasel paused, his pointy nose twitching, and observed the struggling mouse. He understood the mouse's sticky situation very quickly, a little smirk playing on his face. Well, what do we have here?" the weasel chuckled, his voice smooth and slightly teasing. The little mouse looked up, his big round eyes filled with distress. "My friend," the weasel continued, "I see you've enjoyed yourself a little too much, haven't you?" The weasel shook his head, a glimmer of mischief in his small, beady eyes. "You've been stuffing your face, mouse, and now you're stuck. That's what happens when you're greedy." The mouse felt a blush creep over his gray fur, feeling shame and fear all at once. "There's only one way out of this pickle," the weasel informed him, turning to leave. "You'll have to wait right here until your tummy shrinks back to its original size, just like when you came in. Good night, and a lesson for you." with that. The weasel sauntered away, leaving the poor, plump mouse feeling even more alone and disheartened. No kindness, no help, just a stern lecture. The mouse sat there, feeling the unpleasant tightness in his belly and the cold worry in his heart. So, the little mouse learned a big lesson that day. It's wonderful to enjoy good things, but it's always best to be sensible and not take too much. Sometimes, having too much of a good thing can lead to big problems, making simple things difficult. Always remember to share and be mindful, and you'll avoid getting into a sticky situation.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com now.